Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. So we have the Three of Wands, which has everything to do with virtue. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so we have a person standing right here, and you can see their face and their body, their legs. It looks like we have, and I'm thinking it's maybe a rabbit head, almost kind of on a person's body, but they also have, it looks like a guitar. So I almost feel like this is a person who has maybe a rabbit totem. They maybe have like the qualities or attributes of the rabbit symbol, okay? And are they a musician? Are they a musician? They must be if they have that guitar with them. There's TT meowing in the background. Okay, so we do have this person up here. So I almost feel like this is somebody who you felt like you were going to be with forever. And I feel like because we have this, we have the infinity sign right here, and we have the face right next to it. So I'm looking at it. I'm thinking it's like, it almost feels like somebody you thought you were going to be with forever. And now I don't feel like there is a breakup here. I feel like something else happened. Like the circumstances changed in some way. I feel like this was we're probably pretty young, because I feel like maybe it's almost like they moved away. And because there was this gap, there was distance here. Geographical distance. And when you're young, right, and now maybe not now, they all have phones and they can text and video call or whatever. They can use the internet to talk. It's not so hard for young people to kind of have long distance relationships, but even when I was a teenager, not very many people had a cell phone, and not many people were really like very fluent with the internet at that point. And so, if somebody moved away, it was like, okay, well, it was nice knowing you. We'll write letters kind of thing. And so I feel like this almost maybe was kind of the circumstance that took them away, so in some way, right? And I feel that, maybe you have maybe you know each other again. I don't know. It's funny because in my last reading, we just had the same kind of, it was almost similar energy, but I feel it was a similar thing happening. Somebody from the past kind of showing up. But this one, it I feel like it's this time of year. What is it about these transitional months where we just get so nostalgic? I don't know what that is, but it does. It feels like there's this real feeling of kind of looking over these past things and thinking like, what if, what if, you know, what if we ended up together? What if we, it would have worked out, kind of thing. But I do feel like in this situation, because they have that rabbit energy, and this in the middle, the person in the middle almost reminds me of like a real, like Adonis type of, but I feel like this is you. If you, and it doesn't matter if you are, you know, identify as female, male, other, it doesn't matter. This is just kind of in essence, right? And it just like a really like confident and like you have good posture, maybe. Like I feel like there's a sense of like being aware of how you carry yourself, at least in public. And I feel like you have a real confidence. You're very sure of yourself in a lot of areas of your life. And this person, they have that rabbit energy, and I just feel like it's almost like they're so fast, like everything's so fast with them. That I almost wonder, like in your adult life, you know, if you do know them or you have looked them up or whatever, there's a sense of not being very relatable because you do things slowly with confidence. Like you like to look over the details. You make sure everything is there. Everything is as it should be. Whereas this other person is kind of just, you know, they're on their own time. They're doing their own thing. They go from one thing to the next. They have lots of stuff going on. It could feel like very chaotic to you. But at the same time, I feel like there's an attraction to that kind of, like you're opposite, right? Now I'm looking at this and it's a peach. It looks like a peach here. And I wonder, looking at this face, we have the peach, and I'm thinking about that guitar, and the fact that they're a musician. They're probably that. I mean, that's your answer right there. No, I'm kidding. That's why it didn't work out. No, I'm joking. But let's see. We have. Oh, my tummy just rumbled. Let's see. So we have that peach, and it just, it does. It almost, I mean, I just feel like there's this sense of, and I'm seeing 76, by the way, 76. I almost wonder if that's like a year or a date. So we have the peach, and I'm like, oh, is it Georgia? No, I don't think it's Georgia, but I do feel like there's a lushness to this thing. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is almost like a person, and this is going to sound awful, but I'm going to say it anyways. And I'm not saying you're awful. I'm just, maybe I'm awful. Maybe I'm the awful one. But it almost feels like this is a person that you revisit in your mind. And you do because, well, I think there's an attraction. but it's a memory. Like you're attracted to the memory of this person and how you felt with them. But it's like they come up in your mind almost to like reaffirm that you've made the right decisions in your life. Because I just feel like this was an unstable relationship. It was young, you know, and probably pretty fiery and all that stuff. But I feel like I can't get over the fact that it really does feel like this time of year, it's like you get drawn into these old things in your mind, right? And I think when this person comes up in your mind, it's a reminder that like, hey, you have done so much for yourself. Whoever you ended up with or didn't end up with, you know, you did for a reason. And this is something that at times maybe you really romanticize, but at other times it's like, wow, that would have been awful if it worked out, you know? And kind of just like a really good reminder that, you've done well for yourself. You've done the right thing here. Don't slip back. If you watched my readings, you know I don't ever say go backwards here. Although in my last reading I did say, I don't know. I'm trying to loosen up on this concept of inviting in the old people of your life. Not be so biased because I'm very against it. I'm very against it. Okay, so we have, it looks like let's see, where did it go? D-E-B, Deb, I almost think. Yeah. And then we have, it looks like a horse. Oops, I'm off the screen. It looks like a horse, and then we have a person kind of standing on top on one foot. I almost imagine like a some kind of like circus act. Or like, I don't know, like some kind of on a horse ballet or acrobatics or something. And I feel like there's almost kind of this sense of being, feeling like at times you have to be so performative. And there's this kind of tug of war going on, trying to, I almost feel like it's just like trying to find a place where you're understanding one another. And I feel like this maybe is with whoever you're in a relationship with. It might be family. But I feel like there's constantly this back and forth of trying to get to the same conclusion, really, or you both are coming to the same conclusion, but the communication is off. And there's almost an unwillingness to compromise or to hear one another. And I don't think it's all the time, but I do think it does happen. And you get into these places where it's just continued arguments, and having a hard time getting past certain things. And I'm seeing that peach over on this side. It looks like a heart with a lock in it. You can see right here. So I almost kind of... feel like it's like you feel like you have to have your heart locked up. within your relationship. Now, this is not with the person we were talking about before. I think this is within like a family dynamic or with a relationship you're in. There just seems to be this feeling of like, I cannot let something go. I'm having a hard time opening myself up. Like I have to do some healing. I have to like do something to kind of figure this out because there's like a resistance here. And I almost feel like, I mean, at times it's like, I feel like you almost feel like physically ill from the stress of it all. And I feel like a sense of really wanting to retreat from things. But I feel like you spend a lot of energy trying to remind yourself, like, okay, this feels bad in this moment, but I have to look at this in context. Which is hard. You know, it's hard to have to keep doing that, telling yourself that, you know, and compared to old things, because ultimately we shouldn't have to be comparing our relationships. Yet we're human beings and that's what we do, right? We're always kind of measuring things and trying to, you know, look at them with some like context and understanding. And so we have to kind of measure it against our experience with other people. And so I do feel like there is a difficulty in some core relationship. But not so that it's like you want it to be over, but that you want it to be better. But I think that, you know, if there's the ability to have some kind of therapy together or like a mediator, having a conversation, making sure that you like sit down, write out, not a speech, right? Not all the points you're going to make them see that you're right. No, but having some points that you want to touch on, right? Things that are difficult for you, things that maybe this is a place that we need to work on. Maybe this is something that we need to focus on. Something like that. But I feel there is really just there is a sense of, you know, I don't know. This could be better because we need to do some work. And listen, every relationship, all of our relationships in our life go through periods of time where, yeah, we need to work a little harder at them. You know, we need to go over some things because there are maybe some, you know, some pains and wounds and resentments and, you know, whatever kind of brewing. And, you know, any kind of long-term entanglement with somebody, if it's our mother, if it's our, you know, our child or our beloved, our, you know, spouse or whoever it is. All of these people, we have to do upkeep on our relationships if we want them to function and even continue, you know. We have to do that. We have to check in sometimes with one another. Now, we have the number 6 over and over and over again tonight. So 6, at least 4 times in here. Another 6. Okay, so 6 is a really important number this period of time. We also have a butterfly, so we are really going through a introspective and time of self evolution. Okay, so I think you really are. You're working some things out, and it's all for the betterment, right? This is not a rumination. This is not you know, self-sabotage. No, I think that this really is, you are working something through. You are trying to figure this thing out. And I think it's, you know, it's important. It's important to allow ourselves these times where, yeah, we need to get things sorted. We can't just always kind of ignore the bad and focus on, you know, what feels more meaningful in that moment, you know, which is usually the work, right? Work, career, that kind of stuff for a Capricorn. So I'm proud of you for kind of looking at your relationships in your life and not just kind of retreating to what you know best, okay? All right, now we're going to go ahead and take a look over here at these wild bohemian affirmation cards, and these are the fire element. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through and stop where it feels right. Okay. Now it says, I am soulful. Where you walk, fragrant wildflowers will bloom. Trust your power to transform. Trust your power to transform. All right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I always feel so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you have, or if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. I am trying to stay up on the comments as much as I can. There's a lot of them. 1, 2, I just moved. We all moved, right? Shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot, my husband. An awesome moving companion. Okay, he did so much work to help, and help. We did it together, right? I appreciate him so much, and so we're all getting caught up over here with the studios and everything else, and so I am reading the comments, and I am trying to get back to everybody as soon as possible. Yeah, and other than that, things are thankfully maybe going to be slowing down a little bit so we can, really focus on readings and more readings and other channels and just getting it together. So, with that, I'm going to tell you, I love you, Capricorn. I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor, truly. I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night. Good night. Good night.